Philadelphia continue to prove that they are real contenders, the Colorado Rapids got another win, and FC Cincy's miserable 2019 continues to suck. We covered all of that and more. This is just Offside. What is up? Welcome to Just Offside, the weekly MLS show where we take your comments and talk about them. My name is Louie. And again, Mikey is not here, but as soon as we are back from the MLS break, he will be back. Before we get into your comments from last week, if you're new here, this is Trebl, and we are a channel for Americans who love soccer by Americans who love soccer. So come over here, hit that subscribe button because we post new episodes of this show every single week, and we are really trying to get to 500 subscribers, and we need your help. So please subscribe, help us get us to 500. We love you and we appreciate it. We also post a bunch of other videos about American soccer and from the American soccer perspective, so make sure you check out the rest of that. But alright guys, now on to your comments from last week. We got quite a few of them, so this week I'm going to try to go a little quicker than I normally do, alright? Alex Sanchez says, hey, y'all are onto something. Get in early as the league grows, become certified commentators on Pure Grit and Hustle, tell your friends to get off their butts and get back in the studio. People watch and support y'all. A support it takes weeks to earn. People need to see y'all work hard and not cut corners. Alex Sanchez, thank you so much for the comment. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate you for the love. I'm glad you think that what we're doing is cool here. As for getting my friends back in the studio, it's hard, man. We all have full-time jobs, and we're really trying to grow this channel, but we can't always commit as much time as we would love to doing this. So help us out by subscribing, get us more followers, help us get a little bit bigger, and maybe we can start putting out more full-time content. I also really hope you guys don't think we cut corners. I work very hard on all of these different videos, but you know, whatever. Joshua Kleinberg says, thanks for mentioning Latif Blessing. His versatility, speed, and handles have been crucial in Bob Bradley's midfield system. Absolutely, Josh. I agree with you. I think Latif Blessing has been absolutely crucial to everything the LAFC has been able to do this season. Tony Tokanova says, agree, the Revs were killing it on the counter. If Bunbury knew how to shoot, this could have been a blowout, but instead everyone's talking about a bicycle kick that meant nothing. And Sebastian Arake followed up with saying, man, I watched the LA Galaxy game and it made me mad that Zlatan made that beautiful bicycle kick but still lost. Yeah, I agree with Tony. It's really frustrating when the Revs finally have a really good game and all anyone can talk about is a stupid bicycle kick by Ibra. It was nice, don't get me wrong, it was really, really nice, but they still lost. Jordy Munoz says, who's singing Wonderwall now? Hashtag dupe. Well, definitely not Minnesota United. David Sabilon says, Revs talk, subscribing. Thank you, my friend, we appreciate you. And finally, Havan Studio says, what is your opinion on Hassani Dotson and Roman Metanier for Minnesota United? I think Dotson has shown a lot of promise and can become a really key player for Minnesota. And as for Metanier, I honestly haven't even watched him all that much, so I don't want to just kind of make something up. I think his name's pretty cool. And lastly, Brad Jr. 10 says, so is Philly, DC, and the rest of the East trash, or just Philly and DC? Looking for some advice here. I still think there's a good chance that Atlanta can overtake both Philly and DC, but Philly's really starting to pull ahead here. I know that not everybody played this past week, but Philly really is trying to really stake their claim for being number one in the East. But alright guys, that's it for your comments from last week. Make sure you're leaving comments in this week's episode down below so that we can feature you when we get back from our break. And actually, I have a request for you guys. Since the MLS is going on the Gold Cup break and we also won't be making any episodes during that break, we really want to take the time to make this show better for you guys. So let us know in the comments below what you want to see more from us once we come back from the break. We really do want to make this show better and better for everybody who watches it, and we really want your feedback. So leave your suggestions down below. But alright, on to this past week's action. Like I said, the MLS is going on the Gold Cup break, so not every single team played this past week, but we're going to try to cover as many as possible. But one team that did play was the Philadelphia Union, who hosted the New York Red Bull in a very exciting match. Philly kept their pace going with a 3-2 win over the Red Bull. It was another hard-fought win for Philly, who continue to prove that they belong amongst the big boys in the MLS, especially as the Red Bull had been surging up the Eastern Conference table lately. Despite getting the win in the end, Philly didn't look good to start this game. They found themselves down 2-0 against the Red Bull pretty early on. Andre Blake's indecision saw him get chipped and Philly go down 2-0. But they did start to claw back though. They introduced Ilsinho off the bench, and this guy was a monster. He provided the cross for the first goal after he had taken it up the right wing, before carving up two different Red Bull defenders and then scoring the second goal basically all on his own. And then finally, Philly gets a penalty, Montero gets it saved, but it rebounds to who? Ilsinho. Ilsinho got on the end of it and scored the third goal and the winner for Philly. Ilsinho absolutely put Philly on his back. against the Red Bull and won the game for them. I'm honestly surprised that Philly don't start him more often than they do. I get that it's nice to have that kind of spark off the bench, but this man is absolutely quality. He should be on that team sheet week in and week out. I've always really liked him as a player, though most of that came from the fact that he's Brazilian. But either way, I do think he just needs to start more often. That was an absolutely amazing performance from Philly, and it's a performance that sees him take hold of the #1 spot in the East and gives him a 4-point cushion going into the MLS Gold Cup break. So my question is, will Philly finish this season in first place in the East? I keep talking about how they're gonna slip, but over the past couple weeks, they've just been putting out performances that have been really showing me that they have that grit. But I don't know, guys. Let me know down below. But moving along to our next game, guys. The Rapids beat Minnesota 1-0 to extend their unbeaten streak to 5 games. For a club that had not won a single game prior to this stretch, going unbeaten in 5 is wicked impressive. Kai Kamara had the only goal of the game, and now the Rapids find themselves above the Portland Timbers, who are sitting in the basement of the Western Conference. The same Portland Timbers who were MLS Cup finalists last year and had been gaining some momentum lately. I'm just so shocked by Colorado's turnaround. It's been really incredible to watch, and I don't know where they're going to take it, but guys, let me know, where will Colorado finish this season? Will the Rapids keep their momentum going once the MLS comes back? Or will this break have taken all the steam out of this run? FC Dallas played the San Jose Earthquakes while the game ended 2-2 and Chris Wondolowski scored another frickin' goal. San Jose really should have won this game. Unfortunately for them, their goalkeeper Daniel Vega made headlines for all of the wrong reasons. San Jose's defender made a simple pass back to his keeper to try to recycle possession, and unfortunately Daniel Vega took his eye off of it for a second and the ball went between his legs and into the back of the net. Like, these are rookie mistakes. Like, are you even sure you're a professional keeper? Like, I don't want to sit here and keep piling on the pressure on a guy who just probably feels like crap about this, but I'm sorry, like, this is a professional league. Like, that stuff shouldn't happen. Overall, though, terrible mistake, but San Jose does get a point from this game, and again, like I said, they're still causing problems for teams in the MLS. Moving along to our next game, Seattle Sounders versus the Montreal Impact. Seattle kept up their recent crappy run of form going as they lost 2-1 to the Montreal Impact. With this win though, Montreal now finds themselves in second place in the East, albeit temporarily, as quite a few different MLS teams didn't play over this last week. But regardless of that, it's still impressive for Montreal to be in second. If you had looked at me and said that Philly and Montreal would be first and second in the East at any point in any season, I would call you a liar. But either way, Montreal has to be feeling really good about where they sit right now heading into this break. And so my question is, will Montreal finish with a playoff spot? I know second place usually means that the team is very safe, but as we've seen, these East teams have been starting to resurge again. Atlanta has been on a really good run of form. The Red Bull, prior to the loss against Philly, have been looking pretty good. So will Montreal finish in a playoff spot, guys? Let me know. And moving along to the last game that we're going to cover this week, New York City FC versus FC Cincy. Hey, remember last week when I said that FC Cincy were really awful and it seemed like there was no light at the end of the tunnel for them? Well, yeah, nothing's changed. If anything, it's gotten worse for them. They still suck and they're still awful, and I still see no light at the end of the tunnel for them. They lost 5-2 against New York City FC. And despite getting 2 goals on that score sheet, neither of those goals were scored by FC Cincy. That is right, only New York City FC players scored all 7 goals in this game. New York City's new star Ebe even went and scored a hat-trick, but it may not be what you think. He scored 2 goals for New York City before scoring 1 for FC Cincy. Oh, that's so nice. It's almost as if, like, after scoring 2 goals, he was like, you know what? Let me give 1 back to FC Cincy to see if I can make this interesting. It's like when you're playing pickup and your team is winning too much and you're like, you know what? Let's let them score so at least it's a little bit entertaining for us. But yeah, either way, the second half of the season is just going to be rough for FC Cincy. I genuinely don't see how they're going to get better. I don't even have a suggestion anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry. And to make matters even worse, Cincinnati hosted the game between the USA and Venezuela over the weekend where the USA got absolutely battered 3-0. Cincinnati soccer fans, I'm really sorry for what you've had to go through this year. Yeah, sorry. But alrighty guys, there you have it. Another episode of Just Offside in the books. Make sure you're leaving your comments down below and don't forget to leave your suggestions for what you want to see in this show. We make the show for you, so let us know how we can make it better. You can follow us on all of our social medias at Trebl Soccer, and check out our website at www.treblesoccer.com. We post articles about American soccer there, as well as a bunch of other stuff, so go check that out. I've been Louie, you've been amazing. We will catch you in a couple of weeks. Later. Hey, since the MLS is going on break, you need something to watch, right? Instead of watching the USA Men's and the Gold Cup, you're definitely watching the Women's World Cup, aren't you? Well, we made a video about the Women's World Cup, and we counted down the top 5 best jerseys in this summer's tournament, so check that out right over here. We also have a podcast called Culture FC where we talk about all of the things surrounding soccer that make it such a great sport, including music, fashion, politics, all the things that influence the game, just none of the results happening on the pitch. Check out the latest episode right over here. Don't forget to subscribe. We're really trying to get to 500, and we love you. Bye.